G'day folks, I know it's been a little while since I've posted about progress on Frankenstein. Been pretty busy, but not so much on Frankenstein. A little bit's been happening, little fiddly little stuff, so it's not really worth posting anything about it, but there's a few highlights starting to happen now, so let's have a look. Working on fuel tanks, so that's the start of one tank. I've got bits and pieces to make more. So we're working along with flap selector and mechanism. So that's our flap selector. It used to be an old, I think that was a collective out of a helicopter or some steel that I had lying around, and bits of aluminium and bits and pieces. It's mounted directly onto the torque tube for the flap system. So there's a bolt hole here, so another tube will go in and mount and go through and out to the other wing, but there's a shed wall there, so we'll do that one later on. That torque tube there used to be a drive shaft out of a helicopter, so I figured it'd be good enough to operate the flaps for me. So simply select any bolt, that's like 20 degrees and that's 35. Up against that post there, and it's easy to reach, so you just pull it back like that. And it doesn't really restrict your view from the rear cockpit there, so that's full flap, and that's about where my head's at, so still get a fairly good view around everywhere. So there's a fair bit of effort went into trying to pick the best height for the wing, so hopefully I've got it right. So that's our view otherwise. And then in a turn, a steeper turn, you'll be able to look up over the top of the wing. But anyway, that's what we're not mucking around with now. So I've made this one side here. I still got to finish off this side. So basically I trimmed these holes and then had to match them to that because there's a dihedral 1 degree. This is not square, so we had to find where the holes were exactly, or where the slots needed to be exactly, not calculated, because there's the angles and stuff like that. Me and numbers. Yeah, still got to stiffen this area up on a little bridge across there or something like that, and a little bit in there. And flap mechanism's done then. So something simple, something easy to grab. Hopefully it'll work in flight. I don't expect to be deploying flaps until I'm around the 45, 50 knots or 40 knots or something like that. So hopefully that's strong enough, or I'm strong enough to operate that lever at that speed. We'll see. I got my engine back and the frame, so more to come on that. That'll be exciting. And landing gear down there. There's a few other little things to tweak on that, and then they're done too. So yeah, things are happening. So yeah, I'm still at it. I'm still plugging away, saving up all my little pennies to get the stuff that I need to finish it off, and making other little bits and pieces now. So hopefully a bit more visual progress coming along your way, and I'll show you in a bit.